covering one day after the other. One day after the other, we have come to the closing day of the 10 days Dhamma seminar. When you started your work, you surrendered yourself, surrendered to this technique. It was very essential. Otherwise, one does not give fair trial to the technique. One joins a camp like this to give a trial to the technique, to give full justice to the technique. And that is possible only when one works exactly as one is asked to work. And that is possible if one surrenders. Otherwise, all the 10 days one keeps on generating doubts, skepticism, and one does not work. If one does not work, how can one understand the real benefits of this technique? And even if one works and works by mixing some other technique along with it, one has not given a fair trial to the technique, because then one will remain confused about the benefits that one has received. One may be thinking that I got this benefit because of the technique which I mixed with it. One will not be sure that the benefit is because of this particular technique. So without mixing anything else, one has to give a fair trial to the technique. For that purpose, surrender was very important. You all surrendered. You worked very seriously, diligently, honestly, and gave full justice to the technique. This surrender was only for 10 days. Now 10 days are over. You are your own masters. Dhamma does not want you to depend on anyone. Dhamma always makes you self-dependent, independent. Having given the trial to the technique, going back home, very calmly you will review as to what you learned here these 10 days. Whatever you have learned here, if you find that it is logical, pragmatic, reasonable, then only accept it. A human being is a rational being. A human being should not accept things which are not acceptable even to normal intelligence. If you find it is pragmatic, then only accept. But this is not the only yardstick to measure the quality of the technique. Another yardstick. There are so many things in the world which look very pragmatic, very rational, but they don't give us any benefit. Another yardstick, if I practice this, if I continue to practice this, is it going to give me any benefit, real benefit, tangible benefit? Then only one should accept, otherwise not. This is not something for intellectual entertainment. It must give real benefit in life by practicing it. Not only these two, one more yardstick to measure the quality of the technique of meditation. The third yardstick. It looks very logical. If I practice, certainly it will give me benefit. It has given benefit for these 10 days. But by practicing it, will any being be harmed? Will it prove harmful to others? If so, not good. By practicing it, will it also be beneficial to other beings? If so, acceptable. If something is acceptable by using all these three yardsticks, then an intelligent person, a wise person, should have no hesitation to accept it. And a real wise person, when he accepts, she accepts, it will not be acceptance merely at the devotional level, emotional level. It should not be an acceptance merely at the intellectual level. Now the acceptance should be at the actual level, at the level of practice. Then only it will give benefits throughout the life. When one finds that it is acceptable at the actual level, then one surrenders. 10 days ago you surrendered because you were asked to surrender. Without surrendering, you would not have been able to give a fair trial to the technique. Going back home, when you decide to surrender, it will not be because somebody asked you to surrender. It will be with your own free will. Now you have understood. This is the path for me. This is the practice for me. It is so universal, so scientific, so logical, and so result oriented. I have to live this life. So I surrender to Dhamma, not with a time limit. Now the surrender will be with a free will, and it will be for the whole life. Whole life I have to live in Dhamma. Dhamma has to become a part of my life. Without Dhamma, the life will be purposeless. The life of a human being is a real life of human being if one applies Dhamma in life, practices Dhamma. So one surrenders and tries to live the life of Dhamma, life of Sila, morality, life of Samadhi, developing mastery over the mind, life of Panya, developing one's own wisdom to purify the mind, life of Metta, Karuna, love, compassion, goodwill for all others. One has to live this life. Dhamma is Dhamma only when it is applied in life. A Dhamma of scripture is not Dhamma. A Dhamma in the discourses of the teacher is not Dhamma. The literal meaning of the word Dhamma is Dhareti ti Dhamma. When you apply it, because you apply it, so it is Dhamma. If it is not applied in life, if one does not practice Dhamma, One may keep on playing emotional games, devotional games, intellectual games throughout the life. One will not get any benefit. It will be mere waste of time, waste of life. The practical aspect of Dhamma, this alone gives benefit. And you attended this 10 days course to learn the practical aspect of Dhamma, how to apply Dhamma in life. This is what you had been doing last 10 days. From morning 4, 4:30 till night 9, 9:30, you are working, very scrupulously living the life of Srila, very diligently practicing Samadhi, and very wisely developing your Panya and purifying your mind. All practical. If it was only an intellectual game, then not necessary to join a 10 days prison like this. Not necessary. You could have listened to Dhamma discourses on an audio tape or on a video tape, just staying at your home. Why spend 10 days? Because to learn how to practice it. It is the practical part of Dhamma which is very important. Of course, every evening there used to be discourse, Dhamma talk for about an hour or so. This was not for intellectual entertainment. This was not to prove the superiority of this particular sect or that particular belief, nothing doing. The Dhamma talk was to explain the technique, how you should practice, and why you should practice in this particular way, just to understand that. But when Dhamma talks are given, although they are meant to explain the practical aspect of Dhamma, but intentionally or unintentionally, at times the theoretical aspect of Dhamma comes to light in these Dhamma talks. And at times someone may have difficulty to accept certain part of the theoretical aspect of Dhamma. Dhamma is universal. Therefore people keep coming from different sects, from different communities, from different religions, from different beliefs, from different traditions, having different dogmas. They are all welcome. Because Dhamma is Dhamma, universal. Everyone gets the same benefit. People coming from different backgrounds, sometimes in the first 10 days, they have some hesitation to accept certain part of the theoretical aspect of Dhamma. So far as practical aspect of Dhamma is concerned, I have not come across a single person coming from any community, any country, any tradition, to have any objection. Any religion worth the name cannot have anything against Sila. Every religion will ask us to live the life of Sila, to live the life of morality. This is what one is doing here. Any religion worth the name cannot have anything against a practice which makes us master of our own mind. To remain a slave of the mind is so dangerous, so harmful. To develop mastery over the mind, and that too with an object which is universal. The object is respiration, which is not limited to a particular sect or particular religion or particular belief or particular dogma. A truth pertaining to your own self, the breath coming in, the breath going out, Nobody ever objects to that. And the practice of Panya, develop your own wisdom and see how you are generating negativities and you become miserable. You stop generating negativities, you come out of your misery, your mind becomes purer and purer. Nobody ever objects. Because again the object is truth, truth pertaining to your own mind and matter. The contact of the two resulting in this sensation or that sensation, natural, universal, not limited to a particular sect, particular community, particular religion. So the practical aspect of Dhamma is always acceptable by everyone, but in theory at times some difficulties arise. So whatever you heard during these 10 days, if any one of you find that certain aspect of the theory is not acceptable, doesn't matter, leave it aside. Accept whatever is acceptable. Later on, when you realize that what I thought was unacceptable is also acceptable now, then accept it. And even if you don't accept the whole life, doesn't matter. You have not lost anything. Practice is more important. So long as you are practicing Sila, Samadhi, Panya, Sila, Samadhi, Panya, you are practicing Dhamma and you get benefit out of it. It is the practical aspect of Dhamma which is of utmost importance, utmost importance. There is a story, a professor, young professor, not matured in life, but very highly educated, number of alphabets after his name, a long tail of alphabets, was travelling by a ship, and in the ship there was also a sailor, a worker there, a very old man, illiterate. Sometimes he will come to the cabin of the professor, listen to his words of wisdom, what an intelligent person, what a learned person, wonderful person. And one day, after some talk when the old man was leaving, the professor asked him, "Old man, have you studied geology?" "What is geology, sir?" "I don't know. I have never been to any school, I have never been to any college. Please tell me, what is geology?" "Geology is the science of the earth. Have you studied?" "No, sir. As I said, I have not studied anything." "Oh, old man, so unfortunate. You have not studied geology. You have wasted 1/4 of your life." The old man, very sad, with a long face, goes out. Such a learned person says, "I have wasted 1/4 of my life." Certainly, I must have wasted 1/4 of my life. Next day when he came, again after long talk, when he was leaving, again the professor asked him, "Old man, have you studied oceanology?" "What is that, sir?" "The science of the ocean, the sea." "Oh no, sir, I have not studied anything." What an unfortunate person. You have wasted half of your life. Old man, very sorry, I have wasted half of my life. And third day again he was questioned, "Old man, have you studied meteorology?" "What is this, sir? I never heard this name." "Science of the wind, the rain, the weather." "No, sir. As I said, I have never been to any school or college. I have not studied anything." "Old man, you are so unfortunate. You have not studied geology, the science of the earth on which you are living. You have not studied oceanology, the science of the sea on which you travel every day. You have not studied meteorology, the science of the wind, the rain, the weather which you encounter every day. Very unfortunate. You have wasted 3/4 of your life." "Old man, very sorry, I wasted 3/4 of my life." The next day it was the turn of the old man. He came running. Professor, sir, Have you studied swimology? What swimology? Can you swim, sir? Oh no, old man, I can't swim. I am so sorry, Professor, sir. You have wasted all your life. There is a shipwreck now, and this ship is going to sink. Those who can swim, they will reach the shore there. Those who can't swim, I am so sorry for you. We may learn all the logies of the world, and we don't learn swimology. Then what's the use of all these logies? And swimology also, if you keep on reading books on swimology and keep on discussing about swimology without touching the water, and what is the use of the swimology also? One has to learn actually how to swim, because one has to swim the ocean of misery and reach the other shore, free from misery. And this is Dhamma. This is the practical aspect of Dhamma. This alone mere these techniques as practice of a theory. Take it out. There is a story in our country of love, compassion, and prepare a very delicious dish for the child. Very delicious. We call it a kheer, milk pudding, made from sweet and dry fruits. Delicious. There is no take from it in my plate. My plate is more important. Mother had to give the dish. All right, your plate, take your plate, happy. Again he says, no, I won't take. Now it's your plate, why not? Oh, this is a small black stone. It is not black stone. It has taste, it is cardamom. It is good. No, take it. Black stone in it. There is black stone in it. Or what we will say. This is black stone. Enjoy the taste. Later, when you can enjoy it later on. The rest, you might will throw the whole plate and it was so don't the entire theoretical aspect of Dhamma. Whatever you find black stone, take it out. Enjoy the rest. The mother has given with all the goodwill, with all the love, with all the compassion. Actually, there is nothing like black stone. But because of the traditions, one comes from a particular tradition, one may feel, no, this is not good. First thing, it must be in my plate. That means the terminology, the words must be the same as used in my tradition. Otherwise, I can't accept. All right, your terminology. Dhamma is Dhamma. Terminology doesn't matter so long as you understand the essence of Dhamma. And then any difficulty in the theory, take that out and later on you accept it. But the practical aspect, nothing has to be taken out. Shila, Samadhi, Panya, nothing has to be taken out. Practicing here for 10 days, you took just a very tiny step. Path is very long. That has to be accepted. Long. It may be few lives. It is a long path. But how long the path may be? The longest path is the first. One was not taken when the first step on the right path, there is no hope this person is the final goal. One step of the path, there is every hope this person will the second, the third step, like step by step, will cover the entire path and reach the goal. You are fortunate to take the first step on the path. And I am sure step by step you will keep on marching on the path and reach the final goal. Step is it, but very I don't leave you what you practice here, but the fact accepted this is a very step on the path. So plant seed planted in fertile soil. The soil fertile is no doubt of that. Otherwise, not have come to take it here. Your own path is fertile, yet its proper service is not given to this plant, this seed does not get food. Small little just sprouted out of the seed and now you serve like an experienced gardener gives full service to small nursery. This is a small nursery now. You have to keep fence around it so that the cat can come and eat it. You have to give proper water, proper time, proper shade, proper sun at proper time. It grows, it grows, it grows. It will grow in a huge tree with thick trunk, deep roots. Then it will not require any service. No gardener takes care of a huge tree with thick roots, deep roots and thick trunk. Not necessary. On the other hand, this very tree, which took so much service, starts giving us now. Whatever it produces for us. All the flowers, the fruits, the shade, everything is for us, Similarly, this tiny little plant of Dhamma, which has sprouted out during these 10 days, you have to take great care of it at the initial stage. You have to keep a fence around it so that the cattle may not come and eat it away. You have to give proper water at proper time. All the service necessary. And when it grows into a huge tree, then no service necessary. It will start serving you in every aspect, every way. What fence? Which cattle will come and eat it away? Going back home, you will meet your relatives, your friends, members of your community, of your society, and certainly out of inquisitiveness they ask you where you went, what you did. And Dhamma is your open book, no secrecy. You will tell, I did this, I practiced this, I practiced this. And someone, a very confused person, will say, oh, but this is not our religion. This is not our religion. It is so dangerous to practice somebody else's religion. But die in your own religion. Then practice somebody else's religion. And you will get frightened. And you stop meditation. Oh, the cattle has eaten away the plant, gone. You keep a fence. What fence? You tell this person, well, look, whatever I am practicing is within this fence, not beyond the fence. And within the fence is Sila, morality. If I live the life of morality, what objection you have got? How I am harming you or how I am harming the tradition? No harm. Within the fence is Samadhi. I am trying to be master of my own mind. I am trying to concentrate my mind with the help of respiration. What objection? There can't be any objection. Within the fence is panya, wisdom, to eradicate impurities of the mind, to come out of the complexities at the deepest level of the mind. What objection? And within this fence is developing the good qualities of love, compassion, goodwill, service to others, selfless service. What objection? Nobody can object. Your plant is saved.